Amid a passionate We Want Cody social media movement and uncertainty surrounding WrestleMania 40, Raw was headlined by Cody renewing his rivalry with Shinsuke Nakamura in a bull rope match. And yeah, obviously he was kind of the main character of this week's Raw with everything that's going on. So let's get straight into things. And we kick things off with the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and he wasted little time calling up Cody Rhodes, seeking an answer to whether the two of them would dance at WrestleMania 40 in the weekend's main event. Rhodes was making his way up the ring before he could answer. Drew McIntyre interfered. The Scot attempted to convince the American Nightmare to finish his story, opening up Rollins to defend his title against McIntyre at the Grand Station Mall. A cheap shot to the Visionary and a quick exchange from Rhodes ended with the Scottish Warrior fleeing the babyfaces standing tall. McIntyre was great here, but nothing about this made any sense or helped to clarify what is going on in some minds of the creative forces within WWE. Some will argue it's early and we should enjoy the ride, but when the ride lacks sense or direction, it feels too thrown together. It's much less fun. But you know, let's just see where it goes. I think, yeah, there's still going to be a lot of time to build, and yeah, it's going to be strange, but I'm going to wait to see where this all goes. Before it's time for the Fatal 4-Way Tag Match, DIY headed to SmackDown Friday night to battle Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to see who will face the Judgment Day. Ciampa and Gargano won an action-packed bout, and an intense rivalry between New Day and Imperium continued to heat up, and both Julius and Brutus Creed again showed out. Despite the jaw-dropping feats of athleticism, dramatic near-falls and frenetic face, it was veteran tandem that earned the win to set up the match with their fellow NXT cornerstones. DIY versus British Strong Style will tear the house down on Friday and will be a must-wait for any fan. And yeah, I think the match at Elimination Chamber is going to be even more appealing. And yeah, as for this match, it was bloody good fun as well. So yeah, on the whole, this was really, really good stuff and gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Before it's time for the Elimination Chamber qualifier match between Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler, and Becky Lynch will compete in the chamber for the first time. Baszler countered, blocked and resisted everything Lynch threw at her. She prevented disarmer and looked like she may be able to get a submission victory of her own, but the resilient Lynch fought back and delivered a manhandle slam for the win. A competitive match served as a reminder of their in-ring chemistry. It's almost astounding that the man hasn't competed in the chamber yet. Given her previous confrontation with Ripley, it seems like she will be the favourite to go on and win. And speaking of which, Kathy Kelly interviewed Liv Morgan, who said her path to revenge ends with Ripley and starts with Zoe Stark in a qualifying match next week. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. But for this match alone, I thought it was pretty decent and gets a 6 out of 10 from me. And speaking of the champ, Rhea Ripley was next to come out, and she was enraged at the attack she suffered by Nia Jax a week ago. GM Adam Pearce interjected himself into the promo, revealing he's put the Eradicator against Jax at Elimination Chamber. This brought out the irresistible force, who has benefited from security holding Ripley back, rushing across the ring and squashing her in the corner. She flattened the champion, left to a chorus of boos, while the Australian was writhing in pain. WWE's done a great job of building Jax as an unstoppable force, and entering Elimination Chamber as a legit contender is the perfect heel opponent for Ripley, who will be the biggest babyface on the card when she competes at her home nation. So yeah, I thought that was really good building by WWE, and yeah, the storyline probably is more hot than it has any right to be. Before it's time for Cesaro and Dupree taking on Ivar and Valhalla. Ivar and Valhalla roll through Alpha Academy's team, overwhelming them en route to Ivar delivering a second rope power slam for the win. However, this match was too fast, rushed for what it was trying to accomplish. The feud doesn't feel like it's over, as evidenced by the look on Dupree's face as she watched Ivar and Valhalla celebrate from the floor. This may be a good thing in terms of keeping them busy, but does feel like the rivalry has run its course. So yeah, on the whole, it gets a 4 out of 10 from me. I thought, it just kind of felt they jumbled in compared to what we've seen before. And yeah, like I said, I didn't think the action was too great either. So yeah, 4 out of 10 from me. Before it's time for The Miz versus JD McDonough. Backstage, R-Truth caught up with the Judgment Day, believing himself to be part of the group despite the beatdown he caught a week ago. Exasperated by it all, Damian Priest told him to make himself at home, creating hope that Truth may still to be part of the faction. In the arena, The Miz squared off with JD McDonough in a continuation of a week-long feud. A back and forth encounter saw Truth interrupt and throw t-shirts into the crowd, even collecting cash from some. The distraction proved to be very costly for the Judgment Day teammates, as he claimed to be tight with them, as Miz capitalised with a skull-crushing finale. The Truth stuff is fantastic, and yet you'd prefer not to be with a Judgment Day faction that's so serious, but it's got everyone involved and it's bloody good fun. So I'm not going to complain about it. It gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, good stuff. Before Gunther was out next for his 600-day celebration and told Imperium teammate Lilbit Kaiser that while he appreciated the decoy, he should not do it again. After all, no one can beat him. Jey Uso took exception and made his way out to the ring. The two sparred verbally before a disrespected Uso threw down with Gunther, leaving the champion to flee to the sanctuary of the floor before standing tall. And with all of that, we have a WrestleMania 40 program. Uso never held a singles title in his career. Gunther discounted his work with Jimmy, setting the table for Jey to defeat him and claim the IC title. A red hot babyface against one of the most credible heels on the roster is a recipe for that success. But then, yeah, if that's the case, you do kind of wonder where it would leave Jimmy Uso. I wonder if they might do one at Chamber, one at WrestleMania, which seems to make the most sense. So yeah, be interesting to see where it all goes. But yeah, definitely an intriguing program setup. Before it's time for the women's tag title matches, Chance and Carter against the Kabuki Warriors. Oscar and Kyrie defeated them to win the tag team championship on SmackDown before the Rumble. Monday night they defeated against the former title holders in a high stakes rematch, and it was a perfectly acceptable pro wrestling match, but the lack of investment has kind of hurt this with a significantly quieter crowd. Ultimately, Sane delivered her insane elbow to score the win and retain the title. The question now is where the champions go from here and which team sets out to challenge them in time for WrestleMania, because yeah, it doesn't feel like that division is exactly having challenges from all four corners at the moment, does it? Which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 from me. It wasn't bad, but I just felt like they could have been invested in more. Before it's time for our main event, the bull rope match between Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura. Cody Rhodes finally got rid of Shinsuke Nakamura, defeating him in a bull rope match. Another in a string of perfectly okay contests, hurt by lack of crowd heat early on. It intensified, and by the time Rhodes fired up late, the fans were right with him. Drew attacked Cody afterwards, leaving him lying in a claymore and muddying the Mania title scene, something that appears to be an initiative of the creative forces on the road to Philly. It helps create intrigue and interest in the show, but it does hurt the overall quality of product as twists and turns occur in a manner that makes certain angles and segments feel rushed or thrown together. Maybe the stuff involving Rose, The Rock and Roman's Marshall story that will unfold in the coming weeks. But yeah, right now I'm just not seeing it. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for the fun match itself. But yeah, just still so many questions surrounding it. And overall, Raw this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, decent episode of Raw. Everything is overshadowed now with everything going on, but yeah, I think for what it was alright, but yeah, I think we just really need to get an answer to this whole WrestleMania stuff, or does it take over everything? That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.